You wake up, you crawl out of bed, and you start getting ready for the day. You need to shower, get the kids' bags packed, make sure everyone gets breakfast, but first, you need to get the kids dressed. And their drawers look like this. Today's topic is organizing the kids' clothes. The way we're going to approach this is broken down into 3 steps. Step 1 is understanding the problem and defining the desired outcome. Step 2 is the physical organizing process. With this I mean the actual physical change that you make, for example, sorting through the kids' clothes or adding dividers. Step 3 is adjusting the routine, because everyone can make it look nice and tidy for a time, but you need to keep it that way. It's a kid's room. So those 3 steps are the way we're going to do it. Let's dive right in. First off, you have to understand what the problem looks like before you can start fixing it. I say this a lot, so you better just get used to it. Ask yourself, where do you want to be compared to where you are now? Have a clear image in your mind of what the end result looks like and what problem you want to be rid of when you're done. Real life story here. I put my kids' clothes away and it looks really nice and organized for a couple of days, and then I can't close the drawers again. Why is that? Probably because they have too many clothes, and because when my daughter picks out her own outfit, she messes up my system. Well, why is that? Well, it's probably because I'm not good enough at sorting through their clothes and getting rid of the stuff that they can't fit anymore or that they never use. And probably because the system I use to organize their clothes is a system that she's not able to keep up. Aha! Now I understand what the problem is. I need to make a system that my kids can understand, and I need to sort out my kids' clothes. So in regards to a solution, I would love it to involve that the clothes storage looks neat and tidy, even after my kids get their clothes out, that we can easily find the things that we need, even when we're rushing around in the morning. The clothes storage only consists of the things that my kids actually wear and that they can fit, that the kids can help put the clothes away. So whatever system I come up with, it has to be designed around them. And lastly, I need the system to be sustainable, so that 1, 3, 6 months from now, the system still holds up. Step 2, the physical organizing process. Now that I understand my problem and I know what I would like the solution to include, how do I implement that in a smart and organized way? Let's look at our example. The first thing you do is take all the clothes out for sorting. We divide them into 3 piles. 1 for throwaway, stuff that's stained or torn. 1 for giveaway, stuff that's too small or unused. And 1 for keep, which is the rest. Once the clothes are sorted, it's time to put them back into place. But keep in mind, a place for everything and everything in its place. As long as you're using dressers, drawers, or shelves, I would highly recommend using some sort of dividers or basket system. There are plenty of solutions out there, so don't let that hold you back. We keep all our kids' clothes in a dresser, so the IKEA skåp system works really well for us. Using a separate basket for different types of clothes allows you to fit more clothes into a smaller space, and it looks tidy. And it makes it easier for the kids to find what they're looking for as well. If you primarily use hangers, then consider switching out bulky hangers for thinner ones that take up less space, and then divide the hanging space into categories. Step 3, adjusting the routine. So now that everything looks nice and tidy, we want to keep it that way. This is perhaps the trickiest and most overlooked part of proper organizing. Start by imagining what's going to happen once the dresser is recommissioned for day-to-day use. You'll be using the dresser on a day-to-day basis. Is the system too complicated to maintain? Or is your significant other going to start putting skirts into the dress basket? Eventually, the kids are going to grow out of their clothes again and acquire new items. So how are you going to account for that on a rolling basis? We won't go into all the things that might not go according to plan. But this is to help you develop the right mindset. Thinking along these lines up front is going to make the system more sustainable. In our case, the first thing we had to do was bring the kids on board. Not just to prevent them from messing things up, but bring them on board, help them feel more invested in keeping things looking nice and tidy. So after we implemented this new system, our daughter kept doing as she always does. I was pull out like 7 or 8 dresses every time she needed to pick one, and spread them out and do eeny, meeny, miny, mo on the floor. I had to take her aside and tell her she could pull out the basket if she wanted to. That was fine. And the way I was rolling the dresses actually made it so that she could see exactly what dress it was. So even though she has 5 black dresses, like the ones with the stars on, I made sure the star fabric was up so she can see that. She still does eeny, meeny, miny, mo, but now she takes out the basket, puts the basket on the floor, and then does the eeny, meeny, miny, mo with all the dresses in the basket and only takes out the one that she needs. Success! I would definitely recommend doing this. Explain to the kids what goes where. Also, include them in putting the clothes away. At the very least, you can have them bring the baskets to you and then bring them back into their dresser. And as they get older, you can have them sit next to you and fold their own clothes, put it into the basket with you guiding them. Moving on to our next example. As you accumulate more kids' clothes and they grow out of the stuff they have, you'll need to cycle through the kids' wardrobe. This again is where the basket system comes in handy. You'll have a nice overview of what needs to be resorted based on how stuffed the basket is. As an added measure, you might want to set a reminder in your calendar to do a more thorough sweep every 6 months or so. So to summarize, make sure you understand what the problem and objectives are before you dive in. Sort through your kids' clothes and put them into place. And finally, adjust your family's routines to keep things looking nice and tidy for a long time. What are your kids' wardrobe challenges? Please share in the comment section. And if you like this video and you haven't already, subscribe and make sure you click that bell icon to get new content notifications. Until next time.